The Taigun isn't only the sibling of the recently launched Skoda Kushaq, but is arguably the most anticipated Volkswagen car in India for 2021. It jumps up on the compact SUV bandwagon popularized by the Hyundai Creta and the Kia Seltos and strives to bring German panache to the segment. It is also a loaded car when it comes down to in-car tech, so for once, a VW doesn't feel underwhelming even if driving pleasure isn't the main criteria for the purchase.
Like Siddharth and Shams said in their review, it's not only fun to drive, but also quite loaded in terms of the tech. Suffice to say, it's time to do a deep dive into the tech that the Taigun presents to the Indian consumer. It's time for a car and bike tech check.
As one would imagine, a lot of what we saw on the Kushaq also flows in on the Taigun. However, the one major limitation of the Kushaq was the absence of a digital instrument cluster. The top-of-the-line 1 litre and 1.5 litre models get a very hip-looking virtual instrument cluster. These cars also get a panoramic sunroof, which is absent in the manual variant of the Taigun. There are also a plethora of manual controls on the steering wheel, which gives the driver the right amount of distraction-free granular controls over various aspects of the vehicle. There is also a cool fuel-saving start-stop engine and cylinder deactivation system on board, which will be handy for the penny-pinching crowd.
You get the same 10-inch infotainment display from the Kushaq. That means it will have really similar traits. We are talking about really deep and inky black levels, great viewing angles and brightness levels, and fast and fluid touch response, which is a hallmark of an iPhone screen. It also gets a really logically designed and simple to use user interface. And yes, there is connected car tech and also wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is a feature apart from the Kushaq only the Taigun has in the segment, and it's really delightful to use.
Volkswagen is slightly behind the curve when it comes to connected car tech. It is rudimentary at best with geofencing and a bunch of applications in tow. It is based on a Reliance Jio SIM that's embedded inside the car. It doesn't do sophisticated trickery with natural voice processing, but one can fall back to always the reliable Siri and Google Assistant using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Using Android Auto and CarPlay wirelessly is always a very intuitive experience, and Volkswagen should be applauded for providing this feature.
Volkswagen has gone all in on USB Type-C connectivity. There are 4 USB Type-C ports in this car, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. But that's also a tricky issue, because what if you are someone who uses a device which has a USB Type-A connector? Well, at the same time, you want the technology to progress ahead, right? Perhaps VW could have come up with a solution which was a blend of USB Type-A and Type-C connectivity options, because using an adapter is never a pleasant experience. Minor quibbles aside, you also get wireless charging out here, which is really nice to have, but as always is slow as a tortoise when it comes down to charging your phone.
The car gets reverse parking cameras, really good ones, which offer a wide field of view and great clarity even when it is dark. You also get a pretty sweet sound system on the car, which again is a hallmark of any German car. It has 6 speakers, which is lower than the competition, but it gets the job done with an assortment of music. Most people will not opt for an aftermarket upgrade, but if that is the case, then you are probably very particular about how you listen to your music.
The Taigun is basically the Kushaq's twin. That means the tech is also innately similar in every way possible. And admittedly so, that's a great thing. But at the same time, I can't say that this car has better tech than the Creta or Seltos. So what it boils down to at the end of the day is how good a car it is. And that's something both Siddharth and Shams have already endorsed in their review.